Peace and blessings, everyone. Welcome to another Tuesday evening of Spotlight here on JTV Channel 55. I'm Edjuenka, and we have quite an interesting program tonight. We have Little League Baseball. Going to be talking about Little League Baseball, and they've added Little League Softball to that. We have some youngsters who are playing in the league. Matter of fact, I think we have some all-stars with us, and we're going to be talking about the resurgence of Little League Baseball and Little League Softball in the communities. That's going to be a little interesting discussion. We also going to be talking about tennis, junior tennis. It's a sports night tonight, and we, basically talking about youngsters and programs that are involving youngsters, and the importance of having these programs and the importance of the community supporting these programs, not only in terms of showing up at the events, but also human resource contribution in terms of time as well as financial contributions. These young people need some money to make things happen for them in the community. So we're going to be having those discussions with the Junior Tennis Championship from Long Look and the East End Tennis Club, event that's coming up I think that this weekend coming. So we're going to be talking about that. And of course, we got Sean Rose with us here this evening. We're going to talk about the stories making the news this week. Sean, what are we talking about this week?
Thank you, Edjuenka. Good evening, viewers. Tonight, the top news spotlight looks at national parks. You may recall that one of the belt tightening measures that came out from this year's budget saw some reductions across the board, and the National Parks Trust was affected as well. Some $41,000 less, moving from $406,000 to $365,000 for the government's annual subvention going to the National Parks Trust to assist with the operations there. And what the NPT, the National Parks Trust, has announced is the need to increase fees. They're saying that in order to remain viable, because they are now required, in fact, very soon they will be on their own, they are now required to begin marching towards that stage where they can function independently of government's subvention. And they did indicate recently as well that the subvention is likely to decrease further. Now they're proposing that they have some fee increases to enter the various national parks.
Anything that's being said about improving the quality of the parks, the activities surrounding the parks, so that people make the parks more attractive. People want to come to the parks so that they could generate more income. Yes,
in fact, one of the arguments that supports the increase says that basically they need to ensure that the various upkeep activities are sustained, that they can keep the staff at the various parks. For example, at the bats, very early in the mornings, the staff go there and they do their sweeping and what have you. A number of other initiatives are done in terms of making sure that the various parks are kept up to a certain standard, so that visitors in particular, along with residents, when persons go there, they can feel comfortable at the various sites. What we haven't heard, as you asked, Edjuenka, is the need for fulfilling the desires for more activities. They're basically saying we got to focus first on keeping these facilities at a certain standard.
Well, certainly if you want to generate more activity so you could charge more money, so you can reduce the subvention, certainly you have to attract me to the park. I'm not just, if I'm not just a nature lover,
yes,
I'm not going to want to come into the park just to stand up. I might want to come for a picnic. I might want to, look at the sites. I might want to get some education about the meaning of the parks and what's involved there. So certainly we need to have some, it seems like we would need to have some development in that area.
Agreed. In fact, they did speak as well of enhancing some of the national parks, in particular the Copper Mine area and the Bats. They're looking at the installation or construction of some facilities there, and you'll hear more about that in the news later this week. One of the things that the officials at the National Parks Trust also pointed to was the fact that there is a demand for the facilities in terms of the number of visitors who come there. So for the Bats in particular, some 85,000 people visited that national park in 2012 at the Smuggler's Cove facility, which discussions are going on there as well. And you may recall that quite recently, the area representative, first district representative, Foy, along with the Natural Resources Minister, Dr. Pickering, held a joint meeting, basically a bipartisan approach to look at how they can develop that area. That is still out there for the jury to decide on what is the best way forward.
Well, we heard that the residents were interested in keeping the Smuggler's Cove area just as it is. I suspect it certainly needs some restroom facilities, and places where you could probably wash your feet and change your clothes and get back in your car after having a nice time at the beach. It also, I think, needs some place where you could eat and relax and that sort of thing. I haven't had an opportunity to really take a look at that plan, that proposed plan. What can you tell us about what that plan is?
I can tell you that the presentation done by Cooper from CAD Designs gave a synopsis of what we are likely to see. Some 9 buildings involving an information center, bathroom facilities, kiosk, and gazebos. And apparently the vendors who are there already will be accommodated, and they are going to be housed in some of those facilities. We heard coming out of that meeting that in the peak season, over 100 visitors go to that beach on a daily basis. So that really speaks to the need or the value of having it developed, basically along the lines that government is proposing. However, the need for it to be eco-friendly and to balance that development with the environment is really something that, has to be decided. And in fact, coming out of that meeting held recently, in fact, that was held in Carrot Bay, an 11-member committee was set up involving residents to have discussions with the planners, basically, to decide the best way forward.
Yeah, well, certainly in JTV News this week we'll be hearing more about these topics.
Hearing and seeing, you'll get a chance
yes, hearing
to
and
see
seeing.
first, yes.
And you'll show some of the proposed designs, and so we'll get a good view of what is to take place in that area.
Definitely.
Well, Sean, of course, it's always good to see you, and thanks for coming by and giving us the update on those stories that will be making the news this week. We're going to take a break for a word from our sponsors, and when we come back, I'm going to have with me the president of the Little League Baseball and Softball Association, Mr. Edric Brathwaite. I'm going to have the vice president and liaison for the Spanish community, Mr. Giovanni Fernandez, and of course GM and the PM, our very own brother Walwyn, Honorable Walwyn Bruley, who's going to be a commentator, scorekeeper, and all around man. We're going to have a discussion with them about the resurgence of Little League Baseball, and also we have a few all-stars in the studio as well, young kids who are making their mark in Little League Baseball. We'll have a good conversation with everybody when we get back after these words from our sponsors. Keep it locked right here to Spotlight.
Spotlight is brought to you by the National Bank of the Virgin Islands, Clarence Thomas Limited, the BVI Tourist Board, and CCT Global Communications.
Welcome back to Spotlight. I'm here with the officials of the BVI Little League Baseball Softball Association. To my left here is Mr. Giovanni Fernandez, yes. Giovanni Fernandez. He's a vice president and Spanish liaison with the association. And I have in the middle here Mr. Edric Brathwaite. He's the president of the Little League Baseball and Softball Association. And all of us know Honorable Walwyn Bruley is the player representative, as well as the scorer and the commentator, the man with all the hats. Yeah. And welcome to Spotlight. It's good to have you.
It's good to be here. Thank you.
Mr. Fernandez, I'll start with you since you're the head chief cook and bottle washer. Brathwaite, yes, I'm sorry, Mr. Edric Brathwaite. What I call you?
Fernandez,
Mr.
No
Brathwaite.
problem.
Yeah. You know what it is, the senior moment, you know. Forgive me. Mr. Brathwaite. There's the Little League baseball has been around for quite some time, and then it seemed to have been a lapse. How did you get involved?
Well, Raymond Chichi Fonseca asked me to help him to train some kids in the Chicago area in softball. And while training them, I told him, hey, I'm not really into softball, I'm a baseball player. So he said, you know something, it's time for baseball in the BVI. The kids can't really go too far in softball. So I think it's time that we start looking at the baseball program. And then a few months down the road, there was the Caribbean League tournament held in St. Thomas. And most of the countries in the Caribbean came to St. Thomas to participate in the tournament. And the BVI was missing. He came back again, he said, hey, look here, man, we have to, something is wrong with this program, something's happening, let's get this together. And that's where we started butting heads, and here we are.
You said that you're a baseball player.
Yes.
Did that mean that you played baseball?
Yes, I played baseball for about 15 years in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Yeah. Originally, I'm from the U.S. Virgin Islands. My parents are from here.
Okay. All right. Because I remember you had a AAA.
Double A,
baseball.
Single A, we had a Pony League and Little League.
And it used to be a big, baseball used to be big in St. Thomas, I remember clearly.
Big, yes.
Yeah, it used to be big. And that died out.
No, it's still around. It's still around.
I know that there are the juniors, but I don't see the seniors so much.
No, the seniors don't play too much, but it's still around.
Okay. So the goal is to get the youngsters involved in the baseball, particularly in the hopes of perhaps getting some talented youngsters scholarships and getting education and that sort of thing.
That's the objective.
Okay. Why the softball component?
Basically,
that's your thing. The softball.
The softball component comes in to facilitate the playing of the young ladies. The young ladies don't play baseball.
Okay.
So that's where the softball component comes in
so the junior softball will be
junior softball. If you get them playing junior softball, then they graduate on senior softball, and then
like a feeder system.
Yeah, and eventually, softball. Women's softball is big in the United States. You can always get scholarship from the big colleges.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. That's a good point. So you have young men and young women in the BVI baseball and softball association.
Well, so far with the softball, we haven't started a softball program. Okay. We hope to do this next year, hopefully. Okay.
So right now you're focusing on the
baseball, is ages 9 to 12.
Okay.
We go from ages 4 to 18.
Now, Mr. Fernandez, you are the vice president, and your role is to try to get the Spanish community, the kids of the Spanish community involved as well. How is that coming?
Bueno, está todo bien. El propósito de nosotros esta noche es decirle a la comunidad latina sobre el viaje de Bonaire. Nosotros vamos con un propósito para ganar, a llevar nuestro equipo, la selección de Tortola, a representar la isla. Pero de todo modo, los muchachos lo estamos practicando lunes, martes y jueves, con buen propósito, están haciendo buen trabajo todos los muchachos. Pero tengo que decirle, tenemos alguna madre del equipo de Yankee me han preguntado por qué mi hijo no ha ido, no va para Bonaire. Pero eso, el año que viene vamos a trabajar en eso, porque hay muchachos que son ya de 13 años, los de 13 años no pueden ir. Nosotros estamos trabajando de 11 a 12 años, de 13 a 15 años para el año que viene, siguiente, vamos a abrir esa liga, que es una liga diferente. Al mismo tiempo estamos pidiendo ayuda porque el pasaje para Bonaire es mucho dinero.
Okay.
Y hay que buscarlo.
I only look like I understood what you said. You watching me like I'm into it, right? Like,
Right.
and then,
Necesitamos, sí.
Well, basically his role with the association too is when we go to these tournaments, the most in Latin American countries, and if you can't speak or understand Spanish, you have the disadvantage as you get to the tournament.
yes, yes.
So this is where
That's a very important role.
very important.
Yes. Yeah. So you not only reach out to the Hispanic community in the Virgin Islands, but when he goes to other Hispanic communities, he also can translate
Yes.
and navigate the system
Yes.
and so on.
So as we get in the Spanish community, he becomes the president.
Yeah.
You shift the rule. You take off one hand and put on the hand.
That's how we do it.
That's a good.
One of the
that's a good
things that I think what he was going to tell you, a lot of the youngsters that are now that are currently playing, from Spanish parentage here in the British Virgin Islands, and when you bring them on, young Fernando, he's, and there are a number of others, young players with Spanish parentage.
So it's the ages from what 12,
9 to 12.
9 to
is what
12.
we're doing now.
9 to 12, and parents who want to get their kids involved in the league, is there still space for them to get involved in the league?
Well, at this point in time, we're just about wrapping up.
You're winding up the league.
Yeah, because we're preparing now for the tournament in Bonaire.
Yeah.
This is the Caribbean League tournament, which, if we are successful, we'll make it to the League World Series in Williamsport, Pennsylvania in later August.
So this is sort of like a tryout. The tournament in Bonaire is sort of like a tryout to select those top teams who are going to go to Pennsylvania.
No, what is really happening is that all the players representing the different countries in the Caribbean will meet in Bonaire for a tournament. The winner goes and represents the total Caribbean.
Oh, there's only one winner. Only one winner.
You got some big guns in there. You got South Domingo, Venezuela, Puerto Rico, USVI, Curacao, who's big in
the Latin American community is big in baseball.
Yes.
Very big in baseball. So you're hoping to get your team ready for the upcoming event in Bonaire. When you say that is again?
From July 12th to the 21st. It's going to be a hard sell for us because this is the first time in 10 years that the BVI will be moving on this level.
Okay. So how many teams you had in the league this year?
We had 6 teams. We began with 6 teams. We had the Athletics, the White Sox, the Yankees, the Orioles, the Phillies, and the Rockies from Virgin Islands.
Okay. And you figure you had a good league. What about training? What about training for the kids? How was that done? You take responsibility for that?
We all join. It's a joint effort. Okay. Then we put the kids in different teams. Team consists of no less than 12, no more than 15.
Okay. And you got
manager and 2 coaches.
Talk about 13 for next year when the last league going to open. 13 to 15.
Well,
a lot of people ask me for that.
Okay, as Mr. Fernandez was just showing me that many people have been asking for the senior league, which is the 13 to 15. So next year we want to incorporate that too. Okay, we also want to do the T-ball or the Pee Wee league as they call it. This is from ages 4 to 7. Then we go into the Lit League, which is 8.5, 9 to 12 senior league. Then the big league, 16 to 18.
So you're going to have a wider spectrum of baseball being played in
that's
the territory.
That's what we're looking forward to.
Yeah, so that when these kids who are 9 to 12 now,
they
would be ready for the 13 to 15.
Bigger league,
Yes.
And you go up.
It's a process,
The process. And then by the time they're 18 and they're out of high school, then it's time for college and they're looking to get some scholarships.
And maybe for
when they get to the 16 to 18 tournament, the scouts are there.
Maybe Major League.
Yeah, scouts are there and they
That Major League,
some can
16
get
up.
yes, scholarship to college. Right? That's the objective, really.
All right. And this year you had a successful league. Everything going smoothly.
No, we can't say everything went smooth.
What are some of the challenges? What are some of the challenges that you have that you'd like the public to know and ask for the help that you need?
Well, it's just the awareness of the program, the awareness of our presence and what we're trying to do. Some things are new to certain people. There are certain disciplines that people have to get used to. You know, and we look at this year as a challenging in the sense that mostly trial and error. Next year would be a better league.
You had the experience, you would learn from some of your mistakes, you'd be able to put certain things in place. And this is not happening on the AO show, not on the...
Raja Allen Hodge softball pack is now.
Say that again, the Raja
Allen Hodge.
Raja Allen Hodge softball pack.
In Seacoast Bay.
Yes.
In Seacoast, okay, so the games are played in Seacoast Bay.
Yes.
Because the recreation ground in Rotown was on a renovation.
Okay. So
My biggest beef is really the participation of the parents. We've always told them this is not a babysitting business. Little League is supposed to, any Little League is supposed to be run by parents. Parents are supposed to take an active role in a concession and whatever fundraising. Some of them, if they can umpire, help us umpire. They score. You have to score. If you can't score, you have to keep a pitch count, which is something simple, and things like that. Don't just say, "I'm bringing him," and when the game over, if you don't see me, drop him home for me. No. That's not.
So you need parents to take.
We need parent participation.
And of course,
we need some. You know, you have the soccer moms and we need some Little League moms.
Yeah, some Little League baseball moms.
That's what we need.
Yeah, and I think we need to understand the importance to the kids of teamwork and what are some of the things the kids learn from a social perspective, not only from the game itself, but in relationships.
They learn working together as a team. They learn discipline, respect for authority,
sportsmanship.
Good. Yes.
And it makes them, give them character.
Yeah,
it helps them build character.
Yeah, it helps. They become well-rounded individuals.
So you really need the public support. You need parents to come out. What about money? I should mention it.
Right now we're trying to get to Bonaire. We need, you know,
we sell some ticket raffle.
Right now we're doing a raffle.
Raffle show.
We're trying to, this is a fundraiser, trying to raise some funds to take the kids to Bonaire. It seems as if it's a hard sell when it comes to the government.
Well, since you have that book there, I think it makes sense. Okay, let me see. It's the grand prize is a trip to Bonaire. Oh, I could use a trip to Bonaire.
Yeah.
A trip to Bonaire. And second prize, a gift basket and a ladies' handbag and a gift certificate for ice cream, right? For La Dolce Vita. I'm looking for the trip to Bonaire, so
and it's just $1 chance.
Since you have them, teammates not carrying them back home.
$1 chance, you have 11 in a book for $10.
I'll buy that book there from you.
Well, hey,
I'll buy that book from you. I'm looking for that trip to Bonaire.
Well, we're definitely looking for funding. We need
so
funding.
anybody out there who have some extra dollars.
Well, you could get some sponsorship, some companies and so on to sponsor Little League and
we do have sponsors for the various teams.
Yeah, so let's get the sponsors a shout out because I see they can't. My producers are calling for a break.
We have 6
teams
teams
on for a couple of minutes.
The athletics are sponsored by Hanny's. The Phillies are sponsored by Digicel. The Yankees are sponsored by Mossack Fonseca. The White Sox, Deloitte and Touche. The Orioles are sponsored by Alleman, Cordero, Galindo, and Lee. That's a mouthful.
Yes.
and the Rockies are sponsored by Django.
Well, I see trust companies are well represented, and that's a good thing. We always complain about the trust companies not participating more in local activities.
This was done through the help of former President Mark Chapman. He really was instrumental in getting us these sponsors with uniforms, so we need to really thank him,
Okay. So before we go, we'll say some thank yous. You're thanking the sponsors. You're thanking Mike. Anybody else you want to thank?
Well, I want to thank all the members of the association who have really put all the efforts into making the league a success so far. And I hope that if we do make that trip to Bonaire, we represent the BVI to the fullest. And hopefully, we can put the BVI on the map in Williamsport, Pennsylvania in late August.
Well, that certainly will be a welcome event, a welcome sight
For sure.
Because we certainly been making some good strides over the years in athletics and certainly baseball and softball should be no different. Well, I want to thank y'all for coming. If persons want to make a contribution to the league, is there a number they can call? How can they get in touch with you to bring get the children involved? Parents want to get involved, and people want to give some donations. How can we?
You can get us at 441-6752 or 442-0050.
Second, 441
6752 or 442-0050.
Okay. Or they could Chichi. Everybody know Chichi.
Yeah, Chichi or GM.
Or GM.
Yeah, everybody knows Chichi,
So
yeah.
you could get in touch with any of them if you want to make a contribution. Certainly, it's a worthwhile endeavor, and we really need to support it. I know it was really taken off a few years back, and I think that this resurgence is a great thing, and I'm really happy that you have to come on Spotlight. And you know, you could come. You could just let me know when you want to come, and you could come when you want. And also you need to get with Paul Ulett and get on Sports Desk as well, and generate some activity and some publicity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much for coming. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back with a couple of the kids. These are our star kids, I understand, and talk to them about, you know, their interest in baseball and what they're getting from it, and where they hope to go regarding playing baseball here in the Virgin Islands. Hold on for a few minutes. We'll be right back after these words from our sponsors.
Spotlight is brought to you by Virgin Island Motors, Tortola Concrete Limited, Bolo's High Tech Printery, and H. Lavity Stout Community College.
Yes, welcome back to Spotlight. I'm here with 4 members of the BVI Little League Baseball Association, players, young players, and let me see, I have Fernando Sedano, Demoy, Hodge, Malik, Malone, and Rianje Morsa. Okay, you all play for different teams?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me the name of your team.
Yankees.
White Sox. Orioles.
Athletics.
What are you saying? In the majors, it's not like major league. It's not like major league names. You have to play as good as your namesake. Yeah.
Yankees.
The Yankees. Who's in the top position now?
Is out of the Yankees and White Sox.
Yeah.
Yankees and the White Sox. They're gonna play in the championship. Now you ain't ready
The
for that.
championship.
You ain't ready for that yet.
Coach Eddie Bradwitt. He said that the championship games will be after we come from Bonaire.
Oh, okay, cool. And what position you play?
I play center field and pitcher.
Pitching, center field.
I could play every position on the field, but mostly pitch.
Oh, you're a pitcher? Okay.
Shortstop, first base, and pitcher.
Shortstop, first base, and pitcher. Everybody here does pitch?
Yeah.
Shortstop, first base, and pitcher. And what about you?
Third base, shortstop, and pitcher.
Okay, cool. So what's your batting average?
Around 600.
What? So you just get on base all the time? You steal any bases?
Yeah.
What are you saying? What about you?
It's Dr. Me and he leading for batting and
Yeah.
pitching.
Y'all gonna be y'all going for MVP?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. And you don't know your batting average? You just get on base often? What about you?
I don't know.
You don't know your batting average? Cool. So, what y'all like about baseball?
I like the sport, the fun, and
Talk a little louder.
the sport good to play and the fun. Like, it teach you how to be better and so on.
You mean as a better person?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
I like it because it's a fun sport and it can take you far in life.
Okay. So you thinking about going to college from now and maybe getting a baseball scholarship, playing in the college league?
Yes.
Okay.
I like it because my mother encouraged me to play.
Your mother encouraged you? And while you playing it, what kind of feeling you get from playing it?
Good feeling.
Yeah? You like to be hanging out with other guys and everybody on the team and cheering for each other?
Yeah.
What you like most about it? What you enjoy about being on a team?
To see people play as much as the other people on the other team.
So you like the competition? Okay. And what let me see, you're Andre. Yes. How about you, Mr. Mosa?
Because like my family play baseball, and when at the first time I play, it feels like a fun sport.
Who in your family play baseball?
My father.
Baseball or softball?
Softball.
I think the Mosas are big softball people. I Pavagas with, right?
Yes.
Okay. Who's your father?
Raymond. Mosa.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Big softball in so you know the Blue Wings?
Yes.
Yeah, want to see the Blue Wings play?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. And so how's your school work? How baseball help you with your school work? You have to keep up certain grades to be on the team or anything like that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So everybody here have a passing grade.
Yes.
Yes.
As you couldn't be on the team.
Yes.
That's good. You like that? You like to make
Yes.
sure that you keep up with your work?
Yes.
Okay. What would you like to tell the public about baseball, about you playing, and what do you think is needed to help the league from the adults?
For the parents to come out and support the children, even though they don't have a child, still support, because we as Little League players are going to represent the BVI.
So y'all are the All-Star team that's going to be going to part of the All-Star team that's going to be
Yes.
So y'all like the top players,
yeah.
top players in the league.
Yes.
So we have the stars right there in Spotlight.
Yes.
Right.
Mr.
Okay.
Dimoy, Dagu.
Dimoy Dagu is all and who else?
Ashanti.
Ashanti.
Dimoy Dagu is the only one who hit home runs.
Over
Two
the
home
walls.
runs.
Over the walls.
Really, how old is he?
12.
12.
12.
Yeah.
He's a big fellow, or he?
Yeah,
He
he
like-
tall.
He tall.
Tall, but he's
Left
skinny.
hand.
He
Okay.
like full and no size.
Okay, and he hit it over completely over the fence.
Yeah.
Two home runs. So so that's the most home runs
Yeah.
So far.
so far. Okay. So when the league gonna end?
We are
Probably in a few weeks.
In a few weeks.
Yes.
for preparation in Bonet.
And then y'all gonna be preparing to go to Bonnet. Y'all gonna be
Yeah.
practicing regularly and so on.
Practicing right now.
We done practicing.
We don't start practicing.
We don't practice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. 4:30 to 6:30.
So y'all go every day?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You don't miss practice.
No, I don't miss practice.
Oh, you don't miss
study
practice,
for my
huh?
test.
You have to study your test. Y'all in high school, primary school.
Primary school.
You in high school, primary school.
Yes.
Okay. So y'all just had your primary 5 exams a few weeks ago, right?
Yes.
So y'all know where your scores. You know whether you pass or not.
I know I passed.
I think I passed.
Okay.
think.
So you definitely going through.
Yeah.
Okay. You in
Class 4.
you in class 4. So you think next year is your turn. All right, cool. Well, it's good to have you on Spotlight, and I wish you every success. And y'all look like you're some fine young brothers, and of course we're expecting great things from you, and we're looking to hear you get scholarship, baseball scholarship to go to college, and do the BVA Pro.
Yes.
So thank you for being on Spotlight. Okay, any last words you'd like to tell? Anything last thing you'd like to say to the public before you go? To the adults? Because you have to talk to the adults, because if you don't talk to them, they wouldn't know what's on your mind. You know. But so you want to make one plea, tell them to come out and support, give money. Give money, make your presence felt, and come and support the kids.
Keep coming out and support the team.
Come out to
Team
support
support.
us.
Cheer for the children.
Cheer for the children.
Yeah.
And tell them bring
And
money.
sponsor.
You have to sponsor for the team then.
Tell them to bring money.
Like Kazakh. No one come out.
Thanks for being on Spotlight.
Thank you.
Yes, there's the young all-stars for the national team as we go into Bonaire in next month or so. You have Demoy Hodge, Malik Malone, Riandre Morsa, and Fernandez Sedano. Thanks for being on Spotlight.
Thank you.
Good. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to come back with the Longlook Eastern Tennis Club, Junior Tennis Club. We're going to be talking with Carol Mitchell. She's a coach, and Patrick Mitchell, assistant coach, along with the number 2 junior player, Jerron Smith, in the Virgin Islands. He's the number 2 junior tennis player in the Virgin Islands. We're going to talk about tennis and the importance of that sport in relationship to the growth and development of our young people. Keep it locked right here to Spotlight. We'll be right back after these words from our sponsors.
Spotlight is brought to you by the National Bank of the Virgin Islands, Clarence Thomas Limited, the BVI Tourist Board, and CCT Global Communications.